Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of Smith in the Black here at CPU Group and the Weekend Vid. And just like on a Monday, on anytime we open on a Monday, that we're kind of waiting to see how they want to go about things. So too is the beginning of the month, and so we still have a lot of earnings coming out. So we're probably going to be sticking on that for a while because you can see here in the SPY that almost nothing range weak. Right, so we want to see which side of this thing we take out, right, to start off the new month for sure, because you also had an outside week here. So that's a broadening formation. If we start to take this out, that's something I'd want to know about coming back through here. Or do we just go back into exhaustion risk and keep grinding? Because the monthly, nowhere near taking out last month's lows. All right, so we're a lot closer to taking out the highs. So we'll see, because the daily ranges has just been pitiful and just chopping around in here. And that's why, to start off the new month, we want to see which side of this week we take out as far as the S&P SPY is concerned. If we go to QQQ, a little worse, just a little redder, but still middle of the range for the week. And so, once again, outside week, and we had a lot of those. And now, how do we? What side of this do we take out? So, if you go to the daily, you'll see this. Here's that broadening formation. So the question is, these 3 days are an inside bar of this, right? So to start off the week, first of all, we got to take out either side of these 3 days and then get out of this. Here's your broadening formation. If we do start to come back through, that would be nice, but we're going to let them open. If we go to Apple, and Apple, 2 days stuck in this, right? So that's got to change, all right? So exhaustion risk by going into new highs on the month and closer to taking out the highs of the month, but we got to get outside of that range. If you go to the weekly, you'll see this, just 3 weeks of sideways nothingness. So we'll see how that goes. If we go to small cappers, and small cappers, once again, tight week, and you can see all of this, just sitting here doing nothing. Monthly, 5 months just sideways doing nothing, 5, 6 months doing nothing, and nowhere near taking out the highs or lows of the month. So be aware of that. If we go to TLT, bonds, and bonds closer to taking out the highs of the month, but inside week. So you can see the TLT. We'll see how that goes inside week for TLT. VXX. Doing what VXXs do, trying to bleed out, and we'll see, once again, either side of the weeklies is something we're going to know about. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, oof, look at this range of the week. So, yeah, either side of this, or a little bit closer to taking out the lows, but really doing almost nothing in here. So be aware that you do have triple M going inside month here, so we'll keep an eye on that, triple M. If we go to the transports, little worse. You can see that took out last month's lows, I think 2 in a row, to the downside and closer to taking that out. And so we saw weakness in FedEx, taking out last month's lows and holding this gap lower. But we'll see with UPS, like so. But we'll let them open and see how that goes. We go to XLU, and XLU on the month poked up a little bit here on the RevStrat. Still all of this stuff inside of all here. So one of the things we've been watching is that when the market sells off a little bit, that they've been going into the utilities, and just be aware that daily hit the try that we were looking for, like so. So we'll see how it gets out of that. They also go into XLP when the market comes in a little bit, but real tight ranges over there as well. If we go to XLF here, XLF, on your monthly here, potential hammer if they want to try and come into the banks. We'll see, like so here. So it goes 3-2 down. If we can take this out, 37.14 would get my attention. FAS here, also more of a hammer if we can take that out, but we'll see. JP Morgan stock, middle of the month, nowhere near taking that out. Goldman Sachs goes inside month, so we can see if we can take out either side of that. I believe Wells Fargo is also an inside month, so we'll see how they deal with that stuff. Go to the XLE. XLE took out that low of the month there, so a little bit worse, but then you go to the weekly, and you'll see this here, middle of the range of the week. How do you take this thing out? That's something we'd want to know about. OIH, a little bit closer to taking a shooter down. So we'll see Chevron, middle of the week, nowhere near taking either side of that out. Exxon, a little bit closer to shooter. Slob here, a little closer to shooter week, so we can watch that because we know these things backed off on the month. Last month we had that T2 down on a lot of these things in the energies. If we go to XRT retail, and we know that's still messed up a bit with GameStop, but We go to Walmart. And Walmart just stuck in here, closer to taking this out on the monthly, but you can see it's just not doing much here. If you go to the daily, you can see this just chop stuck in here weekly. Here, still slowly but surely creeping higher, making twos to the upside. So not too much going on there, but you got Target. Nice doji week. Got to take either side of that out. If you go to Costco, that goes into exhaustion risk, just still blasting into the highs. If we go to we'll look at the GameStop. GameStop did what it was supposed to do. We knew about this last month. Boom, the 2-2 reversal below 197. Took it down to 161. Very nice there, and now still closer to taking the lows of last month out. If we go to IBB, not too much going on over here, but trying to walk up out of that. It's fragmented industry, so we'll let that open too. If we go to SMH, Momo Hammer, trying to take out the highs here on the monthly. So they tried to take that 2 down, but then come back up here and go take out the highs. If you go to XLK, exhaustion risk, and we know that that's heavily Apple and Microsoft closer to taking out the monthly highs, just a little exhaustion risk by going into the highs. If you go to the weekly, backs off just a tad here, Microsoft, so keep an eye on that weekly. Go to Facebook, and Facebook closer to taking out last week's lows, but still got some distance if you're going to take out the month. Here, it's dead in the middle of that month. That's going to be an issue. If you go to Amazon, a little bit better here. Now you get closer to taking this out, right? So we knew we've been sitting here doing sideways, nothing. Stop them out, triangle the out, and then triangle the out. And now what's the next 2? You're dead in the middle of this range. That's a problem. Still going to be disseminating this gap from Friday. If we go to Netflix, you go to the month. Here, a little bit closer to taking out, but look at this, all this sideways action for so long. So something's got to give on that. Netflix does go inside on the week, so at least we got that to start off on. If we go to Google, and Goog, dead middle of the week, nowhere near taking out exhaustion risk by going into the highs. If we go to NVIDIA, and NVIDIA still stuck in here. How do we get out of that? Now that you got your split, everybody's happy. But on the monthly, how are you going to take out either side of that? That's what I want to know about. With that Amazon, we can also watch, potentially, if these things come in, shop. If you can take this out on the month. And Wayfair was having some issues here last month. We knew about that. And so going out near the lows of the month, we can watch all those 3 together. If we go to AMD has been our leader over there with the semis, and we can watch that with Xilinx. Exhaustion risk by going into the highs. Xilinx hasn't quite done it, so we're looking to see Xilinx take out 154.93. If you go to Twitter and the tweets, just on the weekly, you're going to see this, the 3-1er. So here's your try, and now in the middle of it, so you can watch that with TWLO. Here, 3-1er, and then Tesla's still stuck in here. Tesla on the month took out last month's highs very slightly. We can see all this stuff stuck in here, and a whole lot of sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4 months stuck inside of here. So we're going to still be just trading that one back and forth as well. So let these earnings come out. We'll see which side of these weeklies we can take out to start off the month. That's going to be important and give us a lot more information. All right, it's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, the Black at SITB Group.